Compassion is a fundamental human experience characterized by the recognition of suffering in others and the wish to relieve that suffering. It has been celebrated in cultural, religious, and philosophical traditions, from the teachings of the Buddha to the Christian emphasis on charity. In the modern world, compassion has expanded to also entail a more all-encompassing concern regarding the environment and for generations yet to come. This act is necessitated by challenges like climate change, environmental degradation, and even social disparity, which require compassion really badly. Compassion is to be situated within a communal discernment, which is a process of reflection and decision making that aligns community action in support of shared values and the common good. In doing so, it ensures the intentions of individuals are translated into actions that are effective, sustainable, and just, hence reflecting compassion and environmental stewardship. This video or essay examines the nature of compassion, its expression in caring for others and environment, and the reciprocal discernment that is characteristic of the nature of compassion expressed in care of others and the environment. Compassion is one of the most complex, multifaceted concepts taken up in the realms of study in philosophy, religion, psychology, and ethics. This was a vital point in moral and ethical debates among ancient Greek philosophers, especially Plato and Aristotle, who emphasized the role of emotions in the growth of morals. Compassion arises as a central value in the ethical teachings of East philosophy, primarily in Buddhism, Hinduism, and Confucianism. It is one of the four immeasurables in Buddhism, which teaches utmost concern for the alleviation of suffering and realizing the interconnectedness of the whole life. In Confucianism, compassion is considered as the highest moral virtue, with human relationships forming harmonious society. The same underscores of compassion were considered by the philosophers of Western Enlightenment, among such greats as David and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who greatly emphasized compassion as a natural virtue which, by being harmonious and having philanthropic tendencies, it successfully opposed a selfishness and competition. The virtue of compassion is given great importance in several major world religions and philosophical currents: Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and indigenous and animistic forms. Within Christianity, compassion is encapsulated in the life and the teaching of Jesus Christ, who primarily taught love and care for his neighbors, the marginalized, the poor, and the sorely bereaved. In Islam, the same is attributed to the concept of Rahmah, or mercy. which individuals should extend to one another, treating them with kindness, grace, and mercy. In Judaism, compassion is deeply rooted in acts of kindness, care towards the vulnerable, and social justice. Indeed, compassion is sometimes extended in indigenous and animistic traditions, even to extend beyond the domain of human beings towards the environment and all creatures. Most, if not all, such as paradisms, carry with them the notion of humans bear the burden of responsibility to live in concordance with nature in an understanding that everything is interconnected. Psychologically, compassion is closely related to empathy, altruism, and pro-social behavior. Empathy implies understanding and sharing the feelings of another, while the scope of altruism is narrowed to the embodiment of acting for the benefit of others, often at personal cost. Compassion serves as a cardinal function in social bonding and cooperation, promoting group coherence and improving survival chances. Practices of compassion have numerous physiological benefits, including improved human happiness, reduced stress, and improved mental health. It is a universal value of humanity, cutting across all the cultural, religious, and social barriers. It is a uniting urge for a more equitable and human world in man. In modern times, the notion of compassion has been adopted by global movements and initiatives seeking to address issues regarding society and the environment. It is mainly felt and expressed in probably almost all interpersonal relations through acts of kindness, supports, and understanding. In fact, compassion forms part of professional setups, especially in health, teaching, and social work. It is at the essence of the patient-centered care and leads to better health outcomes, since it ensures trust in regard to education. Compassion should be there so as to create the setting into lighting, supporting every student. Compassionate educators establish positive relationship, makes the students involved, and establish a class environment where all the students are valued. Similarly, social work also contains a component of compassion within its framework. Social workers work with people and families whose problems are a very serious nature, like extreme cases of poverty, abuse, or mental problems. Social workers work in a compassionate manner by understanding the experiences of all their clients, serving as advocates of their right and supporting the clients to exert control over their lives. Through several means, this feeling of compassion extends from the single person to the third party who witnesses the act. It is on a one-to-one level that well-being increases with compassion. feelings of loneliness are reduced, and mental and physical health benefits accrue. At the community level, compassion increases social cohesion and resilience to help communities cope with crisis.